welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. Uh, so we're gonna try to go through all the basics of getting Vassal started, getting a game going, and how you manage everything in the game, so that depending on how long we can't play in person, we'll be able to do this and keep the league going, or play casual games with each other, or whatever you'd like to do. Now that you will, after this, hopefully know how to use it. So as we're going, if you have questions about anything we're doing, just let us know, and we'll try to explain what we're doing as I fumble my way through this, because Chris is the one who actually knows what he's doing.
Well, for some definition of knows what he's doing. But yeah,
Yeah,
it looks significantly more complicated than it is.
yeah, it's really not bad once you get the hang of it, which I don't have the hang of it, but that's what we're here for, right?
Yep. So we're currently waiting on Chris's content check to happen because I may have had the wrong All right, we're good to go. So I had the wrong module right before we started because I forgot about the update.
Mine
How
keeps saying 8.7.9 even like when I launch Vassal, but I have 8.8.1. It's weird.
weird. It might be useful to just remove the other one when you get a chance. Maybe it's launching the wrong one. I think the only difference is gas clouds, the new gas clouds. So we just won't use those just in case.
I'm on 8.8.1 now. I think if I launch it directly from that, but if I launch Vassal, it has 0.7.9.
Oh, so when you're in
Oh,
the
and
Vassal main menu, you have to like right click and add and remove modules individually. Um,
Uh, good tip.
yeah.
Well, I think Gold Squadron actually put up a tutorial for this a few days ago, and even their thing, which was 8.8.1, from Vassal, it's at 8.7.9. So,
Okay, because that's what I feel like's happening. It's launching right, and it says it when I'm in it.
Oh, that sounds like Vassal. It's a little clunky sometimes.
Yeah, I'm used to
Test,
software
test.
being like software.
Am I muted?
Hi,
No, we
Brian.
can hear you.
You're good.
Hey, weird. I keep trying to mute, but it's not showing the mute symbol. Who knows?
All right. So all we've done so far is over here in this top right corner where it says new game. You can type in a game name, hit enter, and it'll make a new lobby. So I typed AE League Demo and it hit enter. So that's why this game exists. So you can lock and unlock a game if you don't want people to watch you. And when you have a game, so if we have the game locked and you can right click people and invite them, I don't think anyone here really cares though. I mean, if people want to watch whatever, they can come hang out with us. It'll be great. All that being said, let's go ahead and start a game. So once you're in a room like this, you want to go up to File, New Game. It'll launch this window. I'm going to join as player 1, but you can be any number of players up to 8, or Solitaire, which gives you control over every player's components. So I'll be player 1. We're going to pick the best playmat in Vassal, which is the suspiciously familiar Camino map.
Camino, yeah.
Yep. So then counterintuitively, we started the game and absolutely nothing happened. So if you go up at the top left here and click the map button, now we can see the map. And I'm going to start trying to space things out on the screen so they're relatively visible. But the main windows you can see are the map here. Useful button is if you go to this is like the zoom options, you can do fit visible. And that'll just make the playmat fit to whatever space you have this window set to. So we'll put this here. I'll leave the chat kind of visible over here in case anyone says anything. The relevant windows you probably want open are so 1. So this is player 1's stuff. And you can resize this however you want. You shouldn't really need much out of there other than space to put your dials. And we'll show you what else goes in there in a bit. And Josh, did you join as player 2?
I did.
Okay, cool. So here's player 2, and this is Josh's stuff. So let's put these here. You'll also want the... Let's see. So let's go ahead and click on Show Hide Damage Deck. You have to click this once to spawn a 2E deck. And you can see now I have 33 damage cards in my deck. Then you don't need this window anymore. And naturally, because of OBS, my Vassal is struggling. There we are. Okay, next button, this is the dice window. So if you click it, this window will pop up. You probably just want to put it somewhere you can see it because, as you imagine, you end up rolling dice a lot. No one really uses the timer. There's some useful stuff up here, like reference cards, how-to and shortcuts. Content checker is what you saw me doing at the start, the first time you launch the module or whenever like a new wave is released. You can go in here. You'll want to press there'll be a check for new content button that will be lit up. You can click it, and it'll take a couple minutes, but then it'll show you what you don't have downloaded. You can download it, etc. It's pretty straightforward though. Sorry, I have to keep maximizing and minimizing this. It's just because of the streaming stuff. Yeah, so
Also, make sure that you don't spawn the damage deck more than once.
yes. And just because I know you're going to do it anyways. So let's say we spawned a bunch of damage decks, right? Like, oh no, I have 297 cards. So we can draw multiple cards. This window will pop up. Just draw your whole deck, right? 297. Then just click and drag them somewhere. And now they're just out of the way. And we can spawn another damage deck. And this is a regular deck. Cool. Okay. Should we look at how to import a list? Is that the next thing on the?
Yeah, so I was thinking that go over, because they've made this fortunately a lot easier than it used to be, at least from what I remember, about getting your list in now, and there's a couple ways to do it. So
Yeah, we'll do it the easiest in my opinion way. So if we have, here's my list in Yasby. It's not good, but it's what I'm going to play. So if we go to this button and say 2.0 squad spawn, you'll see this window pop up, and it's very simple. We're going to go into Yasby. We're going to copy just the whole URL and paste it in here. Oh, you'll have to get rid of the text that's in there. So we'll say spawn squad from URL. It's going to take a second because it's Vassal, but we'll get there. There we go. So now in my player area, you can see that I have all my list components. So I have dials for everything. I have tokens for everything. Here's my pilot cards and upgrades, charge tokens, and the ship bases itself. So let's copy the ships onto the playmat there. And we'll do the same for the dials for now. So what I like to do with my tokens is, I don't know if this is like standard or whatever, but I'll take all my tokens and set them on the side of the mat just so you don't have to go into the player area as much. So these, I'll just make them kind of fit nicely. You can drag these like up here, and that'll work pretty well. Then I don't need to constantly be in and out of the player area. We'll grab the charge for passive sensors, and then really the only thing I need my player area for is changing my dial, which we'll get to in a bit. So let's make this nice and small again. So here's my list. So
yeah, I'm making mine now. I had to send a link
good
to Steve so we could get Vassal.
Cool. So then while you're doing that, I'll spawn some obstacles. So you saw I clicked this pieces button. If we go into chits, and then there's asteroids, TFA asteroids, debris, gas clouds. So anything you need to spawn, you can spawn in here. I'm just going to grab the first 3 rocks, but if you click them, it'll obviously no one knows what asteroid 5 or asteroid 6 means, but just find the ones you're looking for in here and you can just drag them out like this. But actually, I don't want giant rocks with my Reaper. That sounds like a terrible mistake. So I'm just going to grab the 3 old gas clouds just so that no matter what version of Vassal people are on, they can see them just fine. Because if you're missing, so let's say someone was on the old version of Vassal that doesn't have the new gas clouds, they wouldn't be able to, it's not like it wouldn't work, but they just wouldn't see these gas clouds, the new gas clouds. It would just be like there was nothing there. Do you want me to grab some obstacles for you, Josh?
Yeah, just old gas clouds is fine.
Okay, cool. Well, then, so I've already spawned these 3 gas clouds, so instead of dragging those other ones out, we can highlight them all and right click and copy, or you could just hit Control-C. So instead of going somewhere and right clicking and pasting, it actually spawned a copy of them on top of the ones that are currently there. So we can just drag the ones I currently have selected, and the other ones will be just waiting underneath. So that works well with like tokens and everything. Speaking of, let's grab these force tokens for Vader. And generally speaking, people play Vassal left to right because that way no one has the like air quotes top-down advantage. I personally find that a little silly because whatever, but it is what it is. So if you're playing with someone random on Vassal, they'll be very surprised if you don't want to play left to right. Like how things have been done for years and years. I prefer to play upside down, but it's fine. We'll play left to right, so Josh can make fun of me for being even worse than usual. So I'm going to. So usually, like, you'd roll for initiative, and I don't remember how people. I haven't played with random people on Vassal in so long, but so like the person who doesn't choose first player picks a side, if I remember correctly. But it doesn't matter. Figure it out. Just pick a side. I'm gonna just claim the left side so that I can start setting things up. That sounds good to you, Josh?
Yeah, that works. I'm gonna get my squad.
Cool. So I'm trying to get this to fit visible, but it looks like the mat just barely doesn't fit. So there we are. Much better. All right. So, shockingly, Josh is playing First Order. Same team.
Yeah.
All right.
Get
So
this
I'll get all my
stuff
ships
out
over here.
That. Let's see.
So let's look at his list. He's got Instinctive Aim, Proton Torp, Kylo, Fanatical, Scorch, and 2 generic SFs with optics. And the chat will actually tell you when you spawn a list. So, attempting to spawn a list, the blah, 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 blah. Here's the URL. The squad is 197 points according to Yasby. And when it spawned mine, you can see mine's 199. So Josh will have the player order choice. Not that it really matters. Your Zetas and my Tempest Squadron pilot share an initiative.
It matters.
Oh, it matters.
Put these guys over here. All right, and
Would you like to demonstrate rotating your arcs?
can do the little force charges. Guess I'll put them over here. So only one of my guys has them. Yeah. So, well, I guess there's a couple things you can do with these guys, right? So.
Yep. I'm going to steal one and put it up here so they can see the full right-click menu. But yeah, do whatever you need to on the other guy.
Yeah. So you can right-click on them, and it's got all the things you can do with it, plus the keyboard shortcut for it. So I can, you can do all the moves from there, but you can do this Alt M or Alt Shift M to turn the mobile turret. So I'll grab this guy and turn his turret around to the back. The other thing that's useful if you've got something like this is you can show the back arc there.
Yep, which is Alt F.
Yep. There we go.
There you go.
So Alt F will give you that back arc, and
There we are. That way you can see the front arc. It's shaded like you'd expect. Range 1, range 2, range 3.
Yep. So that was Control F for that one,
Yep.
and Alt F for that one. I guess the other things.
If you need to, there's like full arcs as well. But honestly, I don't think anyone knows the hotkeys for these. You can just right click and find it on there.
Yeah, I guess the useful ones are, the other one is Control L to show, like if you're measuring for a lock. So L for lock, that'll show you're all the way around, like your 360, range 1, 2, and 3. So that's helpful.
I also heard some folks saying that control left clicking on a ship displays a contextual menu.
Yep, so I'll pull that up right now. So this is more useful for actions, but this is like the little UI here. So I held control and I left clicked on the ship base to do this. So here you can click this to see the front arc, back arc, left arc, right arc. And this will measure range out of those arcs, which is kind of cool. And it'll show you the lines. You can tell if things are obstructed. There's action buttons here. So, if we want to check these are more arcs like bullseye, front arc, but there's you can press the barrel roll icon and it'll give you all the different ways you can barrel roll. So this is barrel rolling left straight. And then this is with the Star Viper roll. So, if you click this, it'll then show you the 3 places you can land, stuff like that. and you click one and it does everything for you. Nice and fancy. But we'll get all to all that when actions are actually happening. So, Josh, you have to decide player order.
Oh, I do. Okay. What do we got going on here?
So my only upgrade's passive sensors on the Tempest.
Okay. On that guy. All right. So I guess it doesn't super matter. I'll let you have it.
So generous.
I know.
Okay, so I'm claiming the left side. So
Okay.
just gonna get my ships out of the way here and start placing gas clouds. They're gas clouds. I don't care. Here, have a gas cloud. That one's good.
Okay.
So when you're playing with somebody, I strongly recommend voice chat because, as you might imagine, this is really tedious over text. But generally, there's a button built into the UI. So, like, if you put something down, so you don't have to constantly type like, "Okay, good, yep, set." There's a button that just says "Say set," and that'll say like in the chat that person's set. So, like, I would put this down. So I'm gonna press Control L. So that's gonna pull up range for it. I want this here. And then I would go and I would click say set, and then my opponent would know that this gas cloud is good to go and they can go ahead and place theirs. But if you have voice chat, obviously you don't need to do any of that.
Why are you not rotating?
You don't want it bad enough.
Yeah. Come on. Rotate.
Yeah,
There
if
we
you
go.
actually care to rotate your obstacles, you can
Yeah,
right click, rotate, and drag it around and all that good stuff. But
All right. Oh, it's my turn.
Yep.
All right. This one. Rotate it. Because we're fancy.
that's very fancy.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Grab this and set it right there. Beautiful.
This one will be there. Sure.
Artfully placed.
Yep.
All right, so then I have to place a Tempest Squadron pilot. Are you measuring range from things on purpose?
I was making sure that thing was legal.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so all my ships are facing the wrong direction, right? Well, let's say I want to have my ship facing to the right. I'm just going to tell my ship to do a template move. So, template move, right turn. That way now it's facing the correct direction. The hotkey for that is quick rundown of how the hotkeys for moving make any sense. So if you hold shift and press any speed, it's going to do a straight maneuver of that speed. So like that was shift 1, 2, 3. If we did shift 4, it's going to do a 4 straight. If we do shift 5, it's going to do a 5 straight. If instead you hold alt, now it's going to do banks to the right. If you hold shift, let me get them going straight again. If you hold shift as well as alt, it's going to make it a turn in that direction. So like this is alt shift 1, does a 1 turn. And then instead of alt, if you do control, it does a 1 turn left. So it kind of makes sense. All the shifts go straight. If you just hold alt, it's going to bank. If you just hold control, it's going to bank. So alt is to the right of control on the left side of your keyboard. So alt does the right banks, control does the left banks. If you hold shift during your bank, it turns it into a turn. But generally you only want to do those for like boosts and things because you'll use your dial for your actual maneuvers. But every now and then, so like right now, it's way easier to just take all my ships and tell them to do a 1 turn than it is to like find all the dials and oh god, I'll show you the dark side. Don't do that to them, Josh. Okay, cool. So the only things that I have to place at the moment are my Tempest, and put my Tempest right here. So this button at the top, Josh already hit, but this toggles the setup rules, or setup like ranges. So this space to the left here is my range 1 border. This space is the range 2 border. So this middle square is where obstacles can be, and these lines are the ship placement lines. So I put down my 2, so you've got to put down your 2s.
Okay. Let's see. Make Kylo and Scorch out of the way. We'll do this guy. And we'll do him there. We'll do this guy right there.
Cool. So then I've got to do my 4s. So we'll do Richard, Mr. Vermeil right here. And I'll set countdown up just behind this Tempest. There you are.
All right. We'll get
Big Richard
Scorch.
energy.
Mm-hmm. We'll do Scorch right there, and then Kylo. Let's see. Rotate him a little bit. Yeah, so do. Oh, yeah, this is the slow way. Whoops. What's the fast way? So there's rotate 1, 15, and 90 degrees.
What unholy thing have you done over there?
There.
All right.
Sure. It's close enough.
And I'm just
You-
going to set Vader here. Oh, is this your range marker?
Oh, maybe.
Range 481. Oh, someone's just drawing on the board. All right, we're good.
Oh,
Okay.
That's-
I'm not used to having
That's my bad. I didn't know what that did.
you're fine. You
Yeah,
can
this is for playing around. This
Yep.
is experiment time.
Yep, so if you want to, you can click pixels and measure some other is it pixels? I don't even remember how these work. There we go. So you can just whatever you use to measure that, you can click and drag it again. I'm going to try reset actions and see if that does it. I don't actually remember. Every now and then, when you press a button, Vassal's just going to freeze for a second. That's just how the Vassal life is. It doesn't happen too often anymore, but don't panic. It'll probably come back. Okay, so people usually keep track of turns. So I click the pieces button up here to get this back. I'm going to go into tokens, and let's just grab this hull token. And we can use this to keep track of how many turns we've played. So it used to be that people would play like 19 turns in Vassal, which is why no one wanted to play Vassal because it was like 4-hour games. What's more popular recently is to like play for an hour and then do 2 turns, which makes sense to me. Or you could just play for 75 minutes and the games won't be exactly the same as regular games, and that's okay, whatever, no big deal. We'll keep track of the turns down here just so we have an idea of the pace of the game. It's not something you need to do or anything. Just make sure that you're not playing to completion in Vassal games because it can take a really long time, especially while you're still learning everything.
Yep.
Cool. So this is going to be turn 1.
Yep. So one of the things that I was going to do now is drag all these over here. So everybody, Chris should be seeing, I don't know how everybody else sees it. Spectators probably see it face up, but I've got this little eyeball with the slash through it by all my dials.
Yep. Spectators see it face down as well.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I did was I selected them all and I did Control R. And so now you see them all face up.
Yep. And it's worth noting, I'll show you. So these are all, so Josh can see, my dials are the top ones here, and Josh can see all those. So when I press Control R, you can see the little hidden icon on here, but you can still see your own dials always.
Yep. So I'm going to do the same thing.
Yep.
I see the little hidden icon off to the side and see the full dial. But now I know Chris can't see them.
Yep. So generally, how people do this is, well, let me demonstrate something really quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Josh is doing it for us. So let's say you have a dial out here and it's hidden, and I change it. I'll show you how to change a dial, right? But we rotate it from one maneuver to another. You can see the chat freaking out here.
Yep.
We rotated the dial on the board. Don't do that. Bad Josh.
Dial.
Bad Chris.
Yep.
So
Dial warning.
Yep. If I mean, obviously we all know each other, so you don't really have to worry about people cheating. But because it's online and people don't know each other, the general kosher way to do things, or the correct way to do things, is go ahead and take all your dials in your player area, hide them. So like right now, if Josh were setting his dials and didn't finish setting them until he was done, I'd be able to see what he was doing.
Yep.
So go ahead and hide
And
them.
right now, yep. So I have them hidden, and I'm rotating my dial now in
Yes.
my player area, and you see there's not all that nonsense
Yeah.
messages warning me.
So I'm going to set some dials here really quickly. So Vader's was already correct by happenstance after playing with it. But let's look at Vermile's dial. Okay, so how do we actually rotate it? So once it's hidden, so you can right-click it and rotate. Nope, that's not the... Yeah, here we go. So you can right-click, rotate, select move, and then right and left. That's going to take forever. The hotkeys for it are comma and period, which are right next to each other. So period rotates it to the right, comma does to the left, and just keep going until you have the maneuver pick that you want. So here, we'll do this with Vermile. So we'll bring this dial out here so Josh knows we're done with that one. And then looking here, we'll have our Tempest do some of this action. And we'll have Countdown do... We'll have Countdown do... Quick math, Chris. There we go. We got there. We'll have Countdown do this. You'll often find that you end up with a bunch of comma and periods in your chat and Vassal. It's all right. I promise everybody does it. I was watching a game earlier today where every other message was preceded by comma period, comma period, comma period. It's fine. So if we're done, we would let Josh know that we're set. If we're not on voice chat, he would let us know back, but I think we are. So I'm good.
I
Good?
said set. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So cool. We've got our dials here. Now what? So my Tempest is going to be the first ship up. So our options here are, you can see when something zooms in like that, if you mouse over a component, it just shows you like a larger version. Nothing's freaking out. So, but yeah, so we've got our Tempest. So we have a couple ways to move the ship. We can, again, right click. Is there even a hotkey for it on here?
For the
Yes. So
like
toggle
move,
hidden / reveal dial and perform move on map is what you're looking for. Or the hotkey is just Control S. You saw what we were doing before, Control R. So let's say, actually it'll make more sense. I'll wait till my striker goes. So I'm just going to click on this and press Control S. So that's going to flip the dial over. It's going to move the ship. And you can see in the chat it says, my Tempest Squadron pilot performs move forward 5.
And you
Cool.
have to be on the. You have to have the dial selected when you do that. If you select the base, nothing's gonna.
Yeah.
Gotta work.
Yeah, something weird might happen, in fact.
Yeah.
If
I
something
don't even
weird
know what
does happen, there's an undo button. Don't use it too liberally because you can break things if you like spam click it. But like, so let's say I hit this on accident. Oh God, my Tempest Squadron pilot's up there. I don't know how to fix this. What do I do? We just click undo. We're all good. That being said, every time you rotate a dial, if you're like clicking undo, you have to undo all the rotates. So like, let's say something, like you're click dragging and like, he ends up here. And then Josh rotates his dial 5 times. You'll have to click undo 6 times to actually get back there. So if nothing seems to be happening, don't worry. It's all fine. Cool. Okay. So my Tempest Squadron pilot moves here. There are like perform action hotkeys and everything on here. I've honestly never, we can go to like actions, cycle first action. That's how people used to play Vassal. It's a nightmare. Would not recommend. I would just pick up whatever token you need. So he's going to passive sensors, right? So to signify that, instead of typing out passive sensors, I'm just going to bring a charge token out here and flip it over. So his passive sensors charge is not active anymore. And then I'm all good. So online, I'll just click the say set button. And then it would be Josh.
So I'm gonna take my SF here, Mr. Zeta Survivor
Could you
number
flip the
1.
charge?
Oh, sorry. It's Control F, but again, you can right click it and
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
show you the hotkey.
No, I'm
here.
sure you've said it at some point. I'm just.
You're fine.
So I'm gonna do this guy, Control S. He does his move. And then I'm just gonna throw this old focus token over here. And then this guy is gonna do a remarkably
Shocking.
similar thing. Weird. And he will also focus. So these guys are done. And I can get my dials out of the way now. You can just move them off to the side of the thing, whatever. I guess with things that reference the dial, you might leave them like off to the side here. But we don't have any of that.
Yeah. Cool. So then it's going to be my 4s. So I have Reapers and Strikers, which make life a little harder. So let's do Major Vermile first. So I talked about the hotkeys to like aileron and everything before. So Shift 1 would be a straight aileron, Alt 1 would be a right aileron, and Control 1 would be a left aileron. If you don't remember all that, we can just Control click on the ship. This pulls up the fancy UI. And I believe this one's the boost button. I've never actually done this by the UI. Oh, this is all the moves. Fancy. Do I just want the barrel roll? Yeah. Okay. So then if you click the barrel roll icon, the boosts are hiding here. So the easiest way to aileron if you don't want to memorize the move hotkeys would be to just pull this up, and I want to aileron straight, so I'll click the straight. You can see in here, for a mile performs a boost forward. Not technically what he did. He did a one straight, but whatever. And then I'll reveal his dial, and now he'll be in the correct place. And we'll have Richard here just take a focus. So I'm actually going to copy this token and then drag it out. So that way one stays there. And I don't have to worry about, I can just delete my tokens when I'm done with them here. I'm going to go ahead and grab another charge just while I'm thinking about it. Cool. So countdown's the same story. So I could go in, do the boost, do the one straight, or the striker one straight followed by a one straight. I could just do the three straight as well, which is Shift 3. Neat. If your opponent's cool with that, of course. I'm executive decisioning that Josh is okay with it.
Yep. I see what you did. It's fine.
Hey, just a question regarding those strikers and Vermeil's pre-maneuver moves. I didn't see any options open up. Was that not visible to the observer, maybe?
Right. So if I have this UI open, then only I can see it. No one else can. So you don't have to worry about like, do I want to barrel roll left or right, and like your opponent seeing what you're thinking about or anything like that.
Got it. And that's from but what you're doing is a right click.
No, it's hold Control and left click.
Control left click on the base.
Yep.
Got it. Cheers.
Cool. So that's all your guys done. So now Squish is going to do that.
God, you can take him out of rebel factions, but you can't make him not a rebel player.
Exactly. So yep, we'll make a focus over there for that guy. And then Kylo. Let's see. I think I will do that boost. And do I want to barrel roll? No, I don't need to. So that's it. I'll just be there. That's fine.
What horrible angle have you got in your Kylo 2?
I know.
What's going on over there? Okay, so there's my Vader's one straight. So now I'm just thinking about which direction I want to barrel roll, because we definitely want to barrel roll. The answer is going to be we want a left barrel roll. And we'll put him there. There's hotkeys for all that too, but I'd rather demonstrate actually going through it. So that was that. No one in your list can jam, so I don't care to do anything else.
Okay.
And that's the end of the turn.
Yep.
So,
So with gas clouds being a part of this, how do you get like specialty tokens like strain tokens, or in another case deplete tokens?
yeah, so if we go to pieces, any token that doesn't spawn with your list, and you go to second edition here, all the tokens are in here. So good idea. Let's grab some strains. I'll just grab one and we can copy it. Are there depletes in here? Yes, deplete 2E. We don't need any for this game, but yeah, generally Vassal will spawn any tokens you need with your list. If I had spawned the gas clouds as part of my Yasby list, I think it would have generated strains for me, but I don't bother to actually know that that's true. So yeah, I'm just going to copy these a couple times, and there's some strains if we need them.
So yeah, and I don't know, you guys can't see the like observers, you can't see that pieces menu, is that correct? Or
Oh,
can you?
no, they can see it. They just
They can
can't.
see? Okay.
Yeah, they just can't drag things out.
Okay.
And
So
there's
yeah,
actually
there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. There's all the bombs are in there, tokens, all that stuff, remotes, everything lives in that.
Yep. Oh, speaking of, we're gonna just say that Chris has bombs on countdown, just so we can use them. How's that?
Yeah, do a bomb thing.
Yeah, here's my, we'll just grab, what, seismics? Yeah, seismics are the most mechanically complicated. We'll do seismics. So, Countdown's got 2 seismics on them. Surprise!
Neat.
That's very nice range measurement from someone.
Range 13.
Yep, nice and close.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean these tokens up. I'll just flip this charge, and that's how we'll keep track of this. And I'll increase the turn counter. So this increasing, this is Shift H. I'm not going to bother right-clicking it every time. Go. And I got to reset some dials. I'm not going to attempt to use my big brain to do anything fancy here. Ain't come here to play school.
Let's see here. What do I want to do? So this guy's number 1.
This might not even work. Whatever. It's going to be great. Don't even worry about it. I promise I played medium-based ailerons on Vassal a lot, and I definitely know exactly how this is going to work out.
I bet.
There we go. I'm going to click the set button to put pressure on him to hurry up. All right, we're good.
I'm set. The other thing about, like, the good thing that's good about playing with friends on Vassal is that, you know, we all realize that, like, normally we play 99.9% of our games on a table. And so, I mean, Chris and I have played on Vassal a bunch, and sometimes we'll just be like, oh, you would have been able to tell that wouldn't work.
Just fix it. It's fine.
Just fix it.
Everybody
Don't worry.
knows. Everybody's a little off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that, like, your 4 straight, like, is just obviously on this thing, and of course you would have done that, whatever, right? Like, the point is to have a good time, not to try to fight against Vassal's interface all game.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All good?
Yep.
All right. Tempest Squadron pilot time. So I'm going to click this dial. I'm going to press Control S. We're going to pick this up, and we're going to passive sensors. And there you go.
Cool. All right. This guy. Hello.
Ooh, greetings.
Yep. We'll get one of those. And then this guy. Very similarly. We'll do that.
Okay, so my 4s. Oh, what's happening?
Misclicking. Trying to
Oh.
move my die
Okay.
table.
Cool. So I'm just gonna click Vermile, and since a straight aileron is the same as a 1 straight, I mean it is a 1 straight maneuver, that's just gonna do that 1 straight. We're gonna do this 3 bank, and we're gonna say hello to this guy. And this is a math question for whether or not jamming or focusing is better that I should know the answer to. I'm pretty sure it's jam. So we're gonna jam you.
Okay.
So-
Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, you'd go in the chat, type jam, blah, 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 whatever. It's, yeah. And like you saw Josh measuring range there. So just, it's worth hitting again because you're going to need to do it a lot. Control L measures range to everything, or displays range to everything. Control F is just your front arc. Those are the most common two. Since really all we care about is range to that zeta, you can do control. So Control L was range. If you hold Shift, it gives you this fancy interface that shows you the closest point to everything in range and what the range is. And it even displays it in the chat. So you can see range 1, Zeta Squadron Survivor 1. So we know we can jam them. All good. People are having fun with that. That's whatever. All right, cool. So that's Vermile. So we've got countdown. So countdown's going to right aileron. That's Alt 1. So same as right boost. If you need to right boost, just Alt 1. And then do is left bank. And then focus. And that's, I'm going to clear this range measurement. There we go.
All right. Scorch. It's going to do that.
Hi, Scorch.
He wants to go fast. So there he is. And then Kylo also likes to go fast. Scorch, why are you? Come on, man.
It's having troubles.
Don't do that. So Kylo, we're gonna do this bank, and that is fine for Kylo.
Cool. So, Mr. Vader. Oh, it's worth. So I've got my force on Vader. Josh has his over
yeah.
here. People put it in the player area sometimes. None of it matters. Just do whatever makes you and your opponent happy. As long as you agree with what's going on, like it's fine. I think usually people use the player area or so if you look at the stats on these, I guess we didn't really look at it too much, but if you look at the stat line, like if you highlight over Vader here, you can see like the stats of a ship. So the top left, that I think orange number is initiative.
Yep.
The top right is their hull. The one below that's their shield. So he's 3 hull, 2 shields. And the number below that is their force. And there's a hotkey to increase and decrease force, which is, I think it's under set stats. Yeah, Shift I and Control Shift I. Or if you Control click them, there's a little like up and down force thing here, so that'll increase the force up and down. I find that it's easier to just put force tokens next to them, but some people want to use the numbers, some people want to use the tokens on the card, like whatever. It's fine. There isn't a right answer. Okay, so you said your Kylo's good, right?
He's
Okay.
done.
So Vader is just gonna chill over here. And let's barrel roll. So the hotkey for barrel rolls, I'll just show them for a second. I don't expect anyone to remember them at this point. So I know that I want to roll left and back as possible. So it's going to be shift. So 8 is the barrel roll hotkey, I guess, to start with. So control is going to be left forward. Left back is going to be control shift. So just like maneuver templates, control is left and alt is right. So I want to go left back. So I'm going to do control shift 8. Neat. And then I will spend a force. Actually, sorry. We're going to not be stupid. Speaking of being bad at Vassal. Oh, all right. Somebody's playing with. All right, whatever. I'm just going to barrel roll back.
Yeah.
So before we do this, we're going to lock. And let's lock. So really, when I do this, I want to know if I can barrel roll Vader out of range of Scorch. I mean, we just happen to get a target lock as a side benefit of that. So the answer is maybe. So, but we do get a lock out of it, which is nice. So we're going to lock this guy, and we're going to then spend a force. Let me get rid of this measurement to do that barrel roll. And that seems fine.
Yep. It also seems fine that your countdown has 17 force.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Seems good. Man, I would have brought targeting computer on if I knew he was going to have 17 force. Yeah, so then it's going to be combat. So nothing happens at the start of engagement. My Vader's up first. I mean, when you engage, you can measure range to anything. So now I learn that Scorch just barely does, in fact, have range on me, sadly.
Yes.
But your Kylo doesn't. Get him out of here.
Yep. So Kylo's done. Kylo doesn't get to do anything. Very sad.
True.
Yep.
So then it's my...
Scorch.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So Scorch is going.
Sorry, no, my 4s. JK.
Right. Oh, that's right. You're moving first.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with my countdown. So you can see we can either open up the arc and measure that way, or that was Control F, or Control Shift F will give us the same information. Yeah. And then let's say if countdown were a turret, we don't have any turrets this game, or we don't have any like side arcs. So let's say, can whoever's doing that stop for a second? Thank you. So if we do Control Shift L, there we go. That'll show range out of every arc to everything. So like an old 1.0 360 turret style measurement. But if you need to measure lock range, that's a good way to do it. Because let's say something were just barely on the border, like I'm going to move this guy. So, let's say he were like this,
real
and it were
close.
really not clear whether or not he's in range. You could just do that and Control Shift L and it would tell you. But countdown is now going to shoot. So we're going to take a shot. It was range 2.
At that guy. Yep.
Into your stupid SF. So we can right click up here and just say roll 3 dice. Countdown's a god, rolls 2 hits.
Yep. And I'm going to right click and say roll 2 dice.
Destroyed.
Oh, easy.
Fair. All right, Scorch. Oh no, just kidding. Vermile.
Your other guy. Yep.
Yep. So we already checked earlier, but again, I'll check. So range 1 to that same SF. So roll 4 dice, and we'll Vermile 1 to a hit.
Yep. And there are a bunch of, you can probably see in the dice window, there are a bunch of like like shortcut things. So spend focus, add a result.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
you
sorry.
can
So
also-
I right-clicked the die and said set to hit to do Vermile's ability.
And so, yeah, you can do that with each individual die. You can cancel set to a thing or re-roll just one. You can also clear everything if you want. There's no need to do it like I already had 2 out there. If I roll, so for example, if I had 4, that's not my roll for him, obviously, because he's range 1. If I did 2, it's just going to replace it. So that guy is going to lose 2 shields, which
Yep.
there's also a thing for, and it's somewhere in here. Yeah, so you can right click and see the menu.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can-
gonna say I'll pull it up for you. So it looks like this. So this is the shield up or down marker. So if we click this twice, he'll lose 2 shields.
Yep.
Alternatively, the hotkeys for adding shields is Alt S. The hotkey for removing shields is Alt Shift S or Control Shift S. Whatever, one of those.
Yep.
But that's obviously more effort than it's worth to remember.
So I know, yeah, those are ones that I never remember.
I guess it's worth, since no one actually has a lock this attack. Let's say I did have a target lock. So initially, I'm going to set this to a blank. This is what I rolled, right? So let's say I wanted to target lock these 2 dice. You could just right click them all and say reroll, or you can shift click these. Like here, these 2 are selected, right click, reroll. And that way in the chat, they all happen at once, which is nice for your opponent at least, so they can see that you're not cheating. Yeah, but that's my 4s.
Okay, so now we have Scorch. So come on, Scorch. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Show your arc. There. So So, we already looked and knew, but if that was going to be close, which it is, then I did the Control Shift F to see that that's range 3.
Yep. I think a bunch of people are hitting, and that's why it's freaking out right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
People are in here while I'm thinking about it. Oh, like 5 of us. Okay.
So obviously I'm going to drop a little stress over here by Scorch.
Yep.
And then I will roll 3 dice. And I'm going to use the spend focus button.
Yep.
Boom.
That does that.
Take my-
All right. We're
yep,
just going to
grab
roll
that
3 of
focus.
A's with Vader. So roll 4 dice. All right. So we're going to spend a force. So we'll say set to evade there. So flip this guy. And then we'll go to Vader and reduce the shield. So generally, like if you were playing with a random person in the chat, I would type like 1 shield to, signify that that was a thing I did. It's kind of I don't know, custom from before. It would say that, I reduced the shields of Darth Vader to 1. But just so everybody knows what's going on, because, obviously there's a lot of moving pieces in X-Wing, so it's really easy to lose track of things.
Yeah.
But again, voice chat makes life really easy, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Sure does.
All right, so that's
Cool.
Scorch.
So that's Scorch done. Yep.
So now it's time for my Tempest Squadron to kill your Zeta, right?
Yep. That's right.
All right, so he's going to engage and measure a lock. So we'll put it shockingly on the guy right in front of him. So that flips. Yep. This comes here. So now he gets 4 dice. We're going to set this to a crit. And yeah, we'll go ahead and spend it while we're at it. Sad.
All right. So I take my last shield, and then I'm going to take 2 crits. So here's
No,
a
just
fun
1 crit.
thing.
Because you have a
Just one?
shield,
Oh,
1
did
of
I
8.
roll? Oh, that's
Yep.
right. I rolled 1. Aha.
You're good.
So, yep. So decrease shield. So now I have 0 shields, and I'm going to go to my deck and draw a card.
Yep. So you just click drag. I'll try to draw a card soon so you can see how that
Yep.
works.
I can bring it out here and flip it with Control F, and we see that it is a stunned pilot.
Yep. And it says in the chat too, so you don't have to try to, if you remember your crits, you don't have to like, mouse over it and everything. So if he hits an obstacle, he's very sad.
Yep, so I'm going to get one of these things.
Chris, what's that extraneous card in the top of your player window? Or it looks like a whole extraneous deck.
Oh,
'cause you've
it is
got
a whole
33 or
extraneous
33.
deck. Yeah. So
Okay.
I spawned, just to show how to fix if you accidentally spawn extra damage decks, which happens all the time, because you can't delete cards. So yeah, that's like 300 damage cards we're just keeping out of the way.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case we need them.
Yep, so I got my crit marker over there on this guy, just so we remember.
Yep.
And that's number 1. Alright, so I'm actually going to put that back next to him in my player window.
Yep. Oh, so apparently, let me steal. Can you bring that card back out?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to try to find crit markers like that. You can actually right-click this and say spawn crit token, and it'll spawn you one that says stun pilot.
Oh, I didn't know that. Neat.
And that's right-clicking the card itself?
Yeah, right-clicking the card itself. And just like, can I grab your I'll show you the dark side as well?
Oh, yeah.
God help us all. If anyone uses I'll show you the dark side over Vassal, you're just banned. But, wait, you used to be able to right-click these and say spawn condition. Is it control click now? All right, never mind. Well, I take it all back. Do you have to do it from this side? No. All right, weird. Just kidding. Some condition cards you can.
So I have the token.
Yeah, but some condition cards you can click and it'll spawn the token for you too.
Okay. Yeah, this one came with it when I copied the list in from Yasby, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Is it possible to attach a status token to a ship?
So kind of. So like the tokens that we have out, no. If you remember earlier, I mentioned the whole actions. So these buttons will let you. So it's Shift A to cycle your actions. So I'm actually going to zoom in a lot so you can see this better because I play pretty far zoomed out. But so let's look at countdown. So I'm going to press Shift A. So this cycles through actions. So you can assign like a focus, a barrel roll, like evade. So this would be like I boosted this turn to keep track of all these things. I personally find that this is far more work than it's worth because, you have to cycle through. I want to reinforce. All right, let me hit Shift A like 19 trillion thousand times. But basically the answer is yes. But personally, I think it's not worth it. Cool.
So, let's see, what were we doing?
You're shooting me back with your Zetas.
I was shooting. Yep. So
And
I'm gonna.
we're reducing. I'm gonna get your Zeta down to 2 hull as well while I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
Does Countdown have 16 force now?
Apparently, yeah, he graduated force school. I'll fix that. I think someone was testing out the
He's Baby Yoda.
UI. Yeah, he's doing real well over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, apparently there's no cap to how much force you can have on a ship. Oh yeah, you do you. Sorry.
Yep. So I'm gonna activate number 2 first. So we'll do the old. What does he have? All sorts of things.
I'm just gonna leave countdown's force so I don't have to hit decrease force 20 times.
So I got range 3 to everybody. Countdown's obstructed, so that's out. So I guess we'll take the range 3 per mile. So get rid of that. We know it's range 3, so I'm gonna roll 2 dice. Oh look, 2 hits because I have optics.
Weird. All right, check this out. 2 evades. Sad.
So I can, if you're playing with somebody else, you could say, you could type I'm using optics and then use set to hit in the dice menu, but I just told Chris. That's what I'm doing.
All right, and I'll reduce for a mile. So my muscle memory remembered the hotkeys that my brain does not. It's Control Alt S to reduce shields.
And then
it does the same thing in chat to here. Yeah, it's just Alt S to add shields and Control Alt S to remove them. And that's generally true across the board. Like if I don't know, you like repair or something, it's going to be Alt H to add a hull and Control Alt H to remove them, etc. But yeah, again, only if you want to really go hard.
So now number 1, we already know what he's got, but we'll just look at this just to do it. So he will take his range 1 at Vermeil.
Whoa! Alright, so we're going to take 2 crits. So crits are 1 at a time, so we're going to take a damage sensor array and a direct hit. Okay, so this is the first non-critical damage we've done all game. Will be the damage from the direct hit. So, like, generally, the technically correct way to play Vassal would be take this card, put it here, take this card, put it here, and spawn another damage card and drag it all the way down here. Personally, I find that it's not worth it to drag out meaningless damage cards because if you have no way of flipping over this, like if he didn't have Kylo, I wouldn't bother dealing this card because it's just more hassle than it's worth. But because this card might be a blinded pilot or some pilot crit that, you know, actually matters for Kylo, you probably actually need to deal it. But if there's nothing in your game that can expose or like Kylo, you know, search the deck, if there's no concussion missiles or Thane or whatever, then like I honestly wouldn't bother. How did Vermeil take 4? Something my dice. There we go.
Vassal
No,
dice
he
are
took
bad.
5. There we go. So he's 3 hull left. Yeah, the Vassal dice are bad. Correct. I agree. Cool. That's all of them.
That's everybody. Yep.
And it's going to be dials then. So again, we can just... There we go. Dial in some reasonable stuff. Well, I don't know how reasonable this is, but we're going to do it anyways.
Thane, don't you mean Corona 4?
I assume that he's Corona 4, but I believe you. That's all I got.
Let's see. This is number 1.
So let's set some dials. It'll be great.
One, 2.
Cool. Oh, and I'll flip my Darth Vader force back up.
Okay.
Cool. You all good? I'm taking your silence as a yes. Okay. Cool. So, Tempest Squadron pilot, we're going to 4K. The literal god. Obviously, I can't flip my passive sensors. Should have kept my lock, etc., etc. Okay, all good.
So we'll do this guy. He's stunned.
Stunning.
Focus. And this guy. That. And shockingly, he will also focus.
Shocking indeed. Alright, so then it's my 4s. Get my Tempest out of the way. We're just going to have countdown. Oh, we'll do for a mile. So I have to figure out how I want to aileron here. We'll just straight aileron. So that was shift 1 to do that. And then he slips. Grab a stress for him. Go. And countdown. Let's take a... So one of the downsides of using the UI for something like ailerons is, so let's say I tried a straight boost. Oh, never mind. We're good. So it just works fine. Oh no, my ailerons doesn't fit. What do we do? I'm going to click on countdown and press C, and that bumps him to the correct position where he should land. And then I'm going to click on the straight template and press Control D, or just right click and delete. So that's where he lands for his ailerons. Then we'll do his template thing, which is here. And cool. I don't think I particularly want to take a... Let's look. Is this shot going to be obstructed? Probably not. Here's the secret to Vassal, though. Since everything's at 45 degrees, I'm going to pick this note card I have up on my desk and see that it's clearly unobstructed. Cool. So he'll focus. And I'm all good.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Smells like cheating.
Yep.
So get rid of his stress and
It is worth saying, though, like, honestly, while everyone's playing with each other and everyone knows each other, there's no reason to even tiptoe around things. Like, honestly, it's like, all right, does Countdown want a barrel roll? I don't know. Let's look at his arc. All right, no, it's unobstructed. We'll stay. It's fine.
yeah, we're lacking that kind of like I can get down over the table and really check this thing out.
Right?
Kylo.
Hi, Kylo.
So I'm going to see if Kylo has a... Oh, look, I can get a lock. Neat. So we can do that, and then get rid of this. Whoops. Wrong one. Nope. Oh, shoot.
Get
Yeah,
it together, Benjamin.
What's that over there? I don't even know what I made. And then I will take a stress to do... Not with the stress token. We'll do a boost.
Cool. Okay, so Vader's going over an obstacle, so we can see how obstacles work. All right, so as you saw that, I'm going to do it again, actually, because that was way shorter than I remember. So if you look right here, so he's doing a 3-bank left. So if you look at this, you'll see the template flash red, and it's going to say in chat.
Chris Allen's Darth.
Yeah, there it is. Overlap detected with Chris Allen's Darth maneuver template and a gas cloud. So now everyone knows for sure that Vader hit it. You can also press C on a ship to spawn the template, so you can see how much you hit it by and everything like that. So he's going to chill up here. And I'm going to roll a die for the strain. Consequences! All right, we'll be there. And that's the end of Vader.
It will be.
And my Vassal's frozen, so just a sec. Usually it comes back after a minute or two. There we go, we're good. All
Any
right.
questions? Stuff? Everybody good? Cool. All right, so Vader doesn't have anything. Kylo, I mean, we can check.
Yeah, get out of here, Kylo. No way.
So if you Control Shift F, there's just nothing.
Yep. But Vassal is a really good reminder. So let's say Vader activates, he still gets to... So when you engage, you can measure range to anything in any of your arcs. So you can measure range to whatever you want. So like now I know that when Scorch shoots me, he's going to have range. Kylo isn't. This Zeta will, right? So that's a lot of extra info you get that, like, when you're playing on a regular table, people don't think to measure, but you probably should. Though people might look at you really weird when Vader measures to Scorch there. But yeah, so Kylo's got nothing, Vader's got nothing, so my 4s. Cool. Well, let's take Vermeil here. It's going to take range. Actually, I'm just going to cheat. We're going to have Countdown shoot first. This is the correct choice. We're going to take range 1 into your Zeta there. So it's going to be 4 dice. He's going to focus. Good job, Countdown.
Let's see, is Vermeil gonna kill me? Nope. I'll just take the shields. It's fine, he can't kill me.
Not with that attitude.
Actually, I shouldn't even do that. Whatever, I'll do it. Alright, so that's Alt Control S. So now that guy has no shields.
Yep.
Very
So now Vermeil has hard life choices to make. We're probably just going to do range. We'll just do range 2 at the 3 health one is probably the correct answer. 2 hits.
Alright.
Ready for the Tempest to kill you without a lock? Mentally prepared for this?
He's gonna do it. Alright, so that goes down to 2. Alright, so Scorch has this sweet, and like obviously we can tell that's obstructed, but if we couldn't for some reason, range 3 obstructed. I guess I'll get a stress and shoot at Vader. Oh,
Nice shot. So Vader would get 5 dice, but he has a strain, so let's get rid of that, and it'll be 4. And what do you know? 4 of 8s after the gas cloud.
I maybe should have just passed on that shot altogether.
Probably.
Yeah, all I did was take a strain away for him.
I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it, though. Hey, and you got a stress.
I did get a stress for it too. So.
Okay, so then my 2s. So we'll do our Tempest, range 1, into this Zeta right in front of him. 1 crit. Sad.
All right, so my 2s. We'll do this guy first and see what he's got.
Nope, I'm going to keep your arc. My range measurement's looking a little wonky, I think, just because of OBS. So there you go. That's what he's got, just so people can see. It's just countdown, basically. Everyone's favorite target to shoot.
All right, so we'll shoot at countdown. Range 1. Oh look, optics weird.
All right, here's a shocker. Countdown's going to take a damage and a stress. So we'll reduce his hull by 1 there. Go.
And then this guy we know has that, but we also have this auxiliary arc or full back arc.
Yep.
Oops, nope. Well, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Look,
More arcs. Everything. So what he is looking for, though, is under show firing arcs, show mobile turret arc. So I'm going to clear your full back arc really quick. Yeah, so Alt F displays your turret. So let's say this weren't an SF and he had his arc on the side or whatever. That would work just as well in whatever direction your turret's actually facing. But obviously it's an SF, so it's always going to have its arc backwards.
So I guess I will take this shot at Vermeil out the back.
Weird. 2 hits. Sad.
Swing into the hole.
2 more hull off for meal. All right, and that should be everybody.
Yep. So I'll get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay.
Then we'll be on turn 4. Also, Vassal makes you realize how few turns of X-Wing you actually play. Neat. Where's my Tempest dial? There it is.
Do you not track damage cards?
Oh, so yes, I should be dealing cards. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, generally, I wouldn't bother because this is pretty tedious. But with something like Kylo, you probably should. Though honestly, what I end up doing, this is a bad habit, and I wouldn't recommend it, is when Kylo goes to pull a card, I'll show you the dark side goes to get used. Like, all right, I'm just going to deal out all the cards I should have really quickly. Though, I mean, that's a good way to make mistakes because Countdown should have one as well, and that'd be pretty easy to forget. There we are. So yeah, but generally, so I prefer to just go off the stats on the ships. If he's like Josh, didn't deal a card here either, gasp. But I have no way of going through and like milling cards or anything like that, so it doesn't actually matter.
Look, there's my card.
Nice. But yeah, like what people usually do over Vassal is every time they deal cards, even if they're not crits, they put them out in the play area and then put them on the ship. And it's all very slow and takes a while, so I'm not going to bother with that.
drag it.
Yep. Sounds like a lot of work. All right. We're all good. Vader's not screwed. He's fine. It's all fine. Don't even worry about it. It was more important that I hit the gas cloud last turn than it was he'd be facing any kind of reasonable direction, okay?
You're learning. Everyone's learning. That's what we're here for. This guy's gonna do this, and what's this guy up to? Let's have this guy. This will be fun. Will this work? Okay.
Cool. You all good? Okay, so system phase will be first. I'm not going to drop a bomb. I think my countdown will live another turn so that I can drop a burn bomb next turn. Excuse me. So my Tempest is up first. We're going to hope this clears. Easy. Then he's going to have passive sensors.
This guy. Do this. And focus, if you can believe it.
It's shocking.
This guy, this is the one. Let's see if this works.
Let's see it. Fancy.
Focus.
And I'm going to grab your lock too. Cool. So then my fours. So countdown stressed. So he just does his regular move. So you can see just barely didn't clip that, thankfully. So clear stress. And again, so to display that, I clicked on countdown and pressed C. That displays the template, the letter C, like individually. And then Control D deleted it. And it's the same button to do an auto collide. So I don't think Vermile is going to hit anything here. Let me pull it up. But yeah, I'll wait until something actually hits. So Vermile is going to go here. The only thing he can do is focus. So we'll focus.
Okay. Scorch.
Hi, Scorch. Oh, what a god.
Easy.
Not even close.
Oh, so I was not sure about that one. And then Kylo. Get rid of
Well,
that.
this is a no bully countdown zone, sir.
Let's see, I really don't. Countdown.
Do it. Do it. Shoot me.
I'm not gonna shoot a torp at him, but I guess. All right, I guess I'll check for a lock. Oh, geez, what is that?
What? I don't know. My chat's full of you canceling talent rolls, so I'm not sure what's going on over there.
There's the right one. Oh, look, I can reach him.
Shocking.
So over there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So far this game.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So speaking of talon rolls, so when we go to execute Vader's talon roll here, I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. So just like I was barrel rolling earlier, you can see all the final positions of the ship, of the middle of the front of the ship, whatever, the three final positions here. So I want to go backwards, so I'm going to click that one. It's not going to be backwards enough, but you know, yeah. So then it says in the chat, Chris or Darth has moved the talon roll right as backwards as possible. And make all this visible again. So Vader's up here. And he's stressed. Unfortunately, he's got the lock on the guy just barely out of his arc. Well, not even just barely out of his arc. Way out of his arc. Okay, that's everything, right?
I think so.
So Vader is going to kill this Zeta without a target lock. Are you ready for it? So range 1. And Scorch is in range, sadly. So Vader's going to have a sad turn. So we'll take range 1 to this guy. False. Okay, we tried. That's all that counts.
Okay, so Kylo. I guess I'll just shoot a regular old shot.
To everyone's favorite counter.
Oh.
Whoa. Alright, that looks a whole lot like a stress and a damage.
Yep.
So to make for the sake of everyone at home, here's my damage card. Drag it all the way down to countdown. Really, I could zoom this out quite a bit too and makes this less painful, but it's hard to see the dials at that point. And you can make the dials bigger too, but I don't want to make it really hard to follow what's going on. Whoa! No, not what I wanted. What is the default size for this? 50%? Good enough. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yep, so he's stressed. That's Kylo, so then it's my 4s. So, let's have Vermile take this nice range one shot into... Nope, I'm an idiot. We're going to have Countdown shoot first, as he's supposed to. So we'll do range 1 to Scorch. And yep, I'll focus. Seems good.
Scorch. Yeah, I guess I'll focus. And take a shield and a crit. So there goes my shield. And there goes my hull. And let's see what it is. Bring it out here.
Hey, guess who's going straight?
Alright, so I will get my little loose stabilizer token. Cool.
Cool. Okay, so Nathan said in Discord, I did that pixel check on Scorch at 200%. It's 4 pixels off the obstacle. So this is really fringe and edge case, but just so you know, if you're trying to check how close something is to like fitting or not, and for whatever reason the hotkeys aren't working, or you're checking something that there isn't an auto checker for, make sure you check it 100% zoom. The way that Vassal does image processing means that everything is aliased or estimated, etc. So if you like 200% zoom is actually less accurate than 100% zoom. I mean, granted, like for our games, I don't think anyone's too concerned. Like, did that hit or not? I don't know. Whatever. Like, we'll figure it out. Then just pick something if you can't. But yeah, 100% is the most accurate. Like that's what the game's actually rendered at. If you do 200%, it's actually zooming in and doing some post processing on what's being displayed, and that's going to screw everything up. Yeah, things you don't expect to matter. Okay, so
The TLDR is that I'm super good at this game.
yeah, true. Hey,
Totally.
Vermile, come here. There we go. So now I'm suddenly interested in if this shot from Vermile to Scorch is obstructed. So let's see. When my Vassal catches up,
Yes, it is.
it is obstructed, so I'm super out on that shot. So instead, oh my god, all the ranges. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so generally, like, things don't look so goofy, but because so many people were testing measuring ranges and everything, our Vassal's a little... I'm not sure what's going on, but it usually doesn't look like that. So Vermile is going to go range 1 into this Zeta right in front of them.
Okay.
Yep, number 2. So 4 dice, 1 hit. Sad. Destroyed. Okay, so then your Scorch is up.
Where is it? Alright, so Scorch. Let's see, he had. Well. Well. Range 1 is nice. But. Do I want to do. Oh, you're already stressed, aren't you?
I am, in fact, already stressed.
We'll take the range 1 at countdown.
Sounds good.
So get a stress. And roll my 4 dice. And fanatical, so.
Alright, check out this 2 of 8s. Easy. I was all ready to cheat and set it to 2 of 8 so I could show how bombs work next turn, but instead I just rolled it. Easy.
Look, you got to count down in extra time.
I did. Seems good. Alright, we drag this card all the way down to countdown. There we go. Okay. Then your Zetas. Oh no, then my Tempest. We're gonna get a lock. Here's a shocker. Into the guy, range 1 right in front of me. And roll our 4 dice. Spend our lock for 2. Sad. Alright, we got there still. Count it.
So that's this. Alright, so he's at 0 hull. But, oh wait, here, look, here's my damage cards. Okay. All right. So, yep, he's dead, but we're all 2s here, right?
We are all 2s here.
So let's do. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I guess we'll do this guy first, and just try to finish off Emil.
Who's this
So-
guy? Number 2?
So
Gotcha.
we'll do the back for Emil, which we already know is range 1 because Emil should
Yep.
hit him.
Can Josh roll anything? He can. Sad. Goodbye, Vermeil. You did your best, buddy. So you take another card, whatever. And I'll just pick him up and put him in my player area so he's out of the way.
And might as well get rid of this guy because he's dead too. And you can have your target lock back, Darth
Why,
Vader.
thank you.
And then this guy. Where's that? What is the mobile arc? Why can't I remember how to do the turret arc?
It's Alt F.
Oh boy. Alright, so I guess this would be. Wait, how do we do this?
Oh, alright. So I don't think there's actually a check for turret arc range. So here. Let me quick tip sheet. So we're just gonna flip him around. That's Control U. There's a hotkey. Like if you right click, it's listed there. And we're gonna just check the front arc. So you can see he does not have Vader. Just barely. Which is surprising because at my zoom range it super looked like it was in arc. But if we go to 100%, this is what I mean by it kind of does some cheating. Yeah, you can see that's like close enough that without the auto detection thing, I'd go, I don't know, man, whatever.
Alright. So we have range 2 to that guy out the butt.
Yep.
Worst.
Sad.
So it looks like 1.
Yep. All good.
Why is optics so bad? Why did I roll that?
I don't. You should just don't roll that, idiot. What are you doing?
Alright. That's that.
Yep. Well, that puts us on to turn 5.
Let's see.
This is good. This is good. And let's do this. All right. We're good.
It's pretty difficult. Hard to figure out what I'm going to do with Scorch. This guy. Let's just do that.
Oh, I'm gonna. This might be a mistake. There we go. We're good. So I just hit Control Shift F on this Zeta again to get rid of that measurement that showed up. All right, you all good? Josh, come in.
Yeah.
Okay. So system phase, things are actually happening this turn. So if we right click countdown, we can say place bomb spawner, or you just press Control B. If you right click this, you can like select a bomb token to drop. So we can right click and say drop seismic. Really, you can just press, like, if you really want to save effort, Control B spawns this, Control B spawns a bomblet, but we know it's supposed to be a seismic, so whatever. So there's my seismic. And then my Tempest goes. Does his 2 turn, and he's gonna passive sensors.
Cool. Alright, this guy does that, and he will focus.
Shocking. Okay, so my countdown is doing a 2 left bank. So we'll roll this strain die again. We'll get strained again. Very sad. And clear stress. All you.
Scorch. Look, I went straight.
Yes, you did. High Scorch.
That looks like looks like I'm gonna eat a seismic.
It does. That.
Focused. And we'll see what Vader has to say about Scorch. Kylo. Well, we're gonna take the lock action. Ooh.
Sad.
So this is gonna go over here.
Yep. I believe you.
I don't think I need to do anything else. I think I'm happy.
I don't like it when you're happy. Alright, so it's just my Vader left. So we're going to go hide behind this gas cloud. And I think we want to go hide even further behind this gas cloud. So clear stress. Yeah, so and then I'm just gonna, instead of pulling out a card and looking, because we can't get on the side of the table and look. So what I want to know is, does Kylo's arc pass, like the side of his arc pass through the gas cloud? I'm pretty sure it does, but there's a weird angle involved. I don't feel like zooming, so we'll just cheat. There we go. So now I know that no matter where I barrel roll with Vader, the shot's always going to be obstructed. So that's good news. So we'll barrel roll. I'll go slower, sorry. So Control click pulls up this menu. Barrel roll. So this is barrel roll right straight, as in the straight template, not like a Star Viper barrel roll template. And then we want to go all the way forward here. And then I want to spend a force to target lock, and I want to spend another force to focus. Cool. And then our bomb's going to go off. Or our bomb, my bomb. So Control L will show range of it. So the only obstacle in range is this one. So now Control L of this obstacle will show us what's in range of it. So it's going to be Scorch and my Tempest will take a damage.
Okay, Scorch is down to 1.
Yep. And I'll get rid of a shield there. Cool. Okay, so let's see if Vader can kill this Zeta. So he's going to take a range 2 shot. So if you take 2 crits, you're dead no matter what. So I don't care if I roll hit crit or crit crit. So we'll spend the lock on this. And then we'll spend I'm going to do what is probably incorrect, but there's a gas cloud involved. So I'm going to spend a force to make that a hit. Or hit crit crit. Oh, F.
Very dead. So, you know what, we'll just take all of this and move it out of this. Alright. Let's see, I guess let's see what I took. There's my hit. First crit.
Nice. Ooh, this is a SF that took 8 damage to kill. Maybe more. Yes, alright. He took 9 damage to kill.
Alright. Oops. I want to steal Kylo's first charge there. Cool. That's a bunch of damage.
That is a very sad SF. Alright,
Yes.
take my lock back. And then it's your Kylo.
So I'm gonna flip one of these charges I have over here.
Uh-oh.
Which I kept 2 charges off to the right for my.
Yep, for
Proton
Proton Torps.
So I will shoot a proton torp at old Grandpa.
It's gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. That's what I like to see.
Let's see. I have a lock. This is the thing I should know the math on also.
It's true. It's alright. I should too.
Let's see. I'm just gonna lock one of these. Watch this.
I believe that's correct. Hey, there you go.
I'm just gonna act like I'm spending a focus because that's the same thing.
Yep, spend both force, set one to a crit. Okay, so this is obstructed, so Vader's going to be on 4 dice. He's going to set to evade because it's a gas cloud and spend his focus and not take any damage because I believe the term is purple number is a good strategy.
All right, so
And
countdown.
here's your lockback. I don't know. I'm going to put it on your Kylo, so there.
So countdown has nothing, so we're up to Scorch.
Yep. Do you want to evade with Scorch, by the way, Mr. Fanatical? Okay, I like it.
We came to kill this guy.
Fair. You really want him dead. Didn't you want to lock then?
Oh yeah, I guess that's probably. Wait, what is? Oh yeah, Fanatical's a focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's dead.
There we go. He had a lock the whole time.
All right. So 4 dice. Oh, look, didn't
Oh,
even need it.
nothing mattered. Okay, fair. So 3 dice. Easy. I'll take a shield.
So that guy takes a shield.
Yep. And oh man, is this guy range 2 to Kylo? This is so tempting. To just take the shot there. Because Scorch has that loose stabilizer anyways. But I shouldn't. So we're going to get a lock on Scorch. And we'll shoot Scorch. So 4 dice. Set to crit. Not that it matters. Reroll these 2. 2 and a crit. Can you do the same thing I did? Are you a bad enough dude? Sad. Wow, joke's on you. You would have been correct the whole time with the focus.
Oh yeah, look at that. All right, so that's this guy's. Scorch, get out.
Get out. Here's your lock. There's my lock. Shift H. We'll put us on turn 6.
What did I get? I got a disabled power regulator. Cool.
Cool. Thanks. I hate it. Okay, then we get our force back. And we've got another. I don't know how much more of this you want to do. You probably do another turn or 2 and still have interesting things come up at least. I just want to go through menus and have things move.
Let's see here. Alright, that seems fine. Do that.
Cool. I'm all good whenever you are. Alright, I am not going to drop a bomb. This guy's going to turn and passive sensors. Oh, and then me again. Right. True. Okay. Countdown's going to right aileron. So that was Alt 1 that did that. To right aileron. And then he's going to bank. Clear strain. And we'll just evade here. Yeah, seems good.
Kylo. Alright, here. Hold this for me.
Weird. Okay, so then it's Vader. So again, Control S on the dial. Being shot by Kylo does not sound like fun, even if it means going over this gas cloud. So we'll pull up this interface that was Control left click. And let's barrel roll back here. Yeah. Actually, sorry. I'm going to go forward. So barrel roll left, forward. There we go. And yeah, I'll spend a force for a lock. Why not? It'll be great.
I don't know how I keep canceling Talon rolls all the time.
I don't either, but you've done it 180 times now, says Nathan.
It's insane. I don't know.
It's very impressive. All right, Mr. Vader. So range 1 through a gas cloud. I'm sure this will work. 4 dice. Whoa. We'll set that to a crit and just I'll keep 3 crits. Seems good.
Yeah,
Hey.
Josh, I was wondering if maybe you're doing like a push to talk while having the window focused, and it's somehow doing a talent.
I'm not using push to talk at all, so
Oh,
I
then.
don't know what's going on. Yeah, all I did, so there were like 3 after I moved Kylo, 4. All I did was hit the dial, do Control S, and seems to be making me do a lot of Talon roll canceling for whatever reason.
Just really wants you to cancel Talon rolls. No big deal. Cool. Okay, so then you activate. We'll show your arc for
Nobody.
completionist's sake. Yep. Then no one else has anything, so passive sensors over here means this guy gets a lock. And that's it.
Yep.
More hull for the turn counter. So for reference, like a usual 75-minute game of X-Wing is like 9 to 10 to like 9 to 12 turns, usually on the lower side of that. But generally it's a good idea to agree beforehand how long you want to play so you don't just end up, Kylo against, I don't know, like Fat Han, no one can hurt each other, just stuck. And it's Vassal, so it takes even longer, right? So let's do a couple more of these turns. It'll be great. Actually, let's do the incorrect maneuver because it'll be way more fun. Joss over there still canceling Talon rolls. No big deal.
What? Like, every time I do something. Yeah, so did it just do another one for me?
Yep. Yeah, I think at some point in time, like it had the Talon roll menu open for you, and somebody probably opened a measurement or something at the same time. Usually, when you're playing Vassal, there aren't 5 people like hitting buttons and trying commands and stuff, but there are right now, so weird stuff's happening.
191.
I feel personally attacked right now.
I wonder what happens when I actually try to do a Talon.
It could be
Oh my
anything.
God.
Actually,
I'm
speaking of, hang on, one second. This is very important. Yeah, we're in. We're good. Okay. I didn't choose enough violence, so I want to choose more violence. Oh yeah, me. Tempest Squadron Pilot. Talon roll. Shocker. Whoa. Nope. Not firing arc. There's the stress. Countdown's gonna Alt 1
did
to
that.
right aileron. Okay, gotcha. I was wondering where that came from. So I didn't think I hit anything. Yep, and we'll go here and focus.
Kylo.
The 4K. All right, Vader, the literal god. You ready for it?
Get all these out of your way.
I'm gonna put them up front first, so hopefully get to range 1. All right, we're gonna Talon roll through the gas cloud. Seems reasonable and correct. Literally can't go wrong. Roll a strain. 3 for 3. No problem. And yeah, that's everything, right? So we'll take range 1 at you. 4 dice. Set to crit. I have 1 force, so we'll re-roll these 3. So I shift-click these 3. Right-click. Re-roll. That seems bad. We're just going to stick to 1 crit. Sad.
Yeah. All right, Kylo. At Vader.
I spent that lock, right? I already forgot. Yes, this lock is gone.
We're gonna lock all 3 of these. It's easy.
It's not a good day to be Dark Lord of the Sith. All right, just take a shield and 2 hull, no problem, right? Taking 3, taking 3. Shield, hull, no problem. Oh, and distress. That seems important too. All right, it's all right. Countdown is going to kill you for your sins. Range 2. Oh, seems good. Focus.
All right. Oh no, a shield. Okay.
Cool. Then this guy's out of range, I assume. Yes. Okay. More dials. Vader, that may not have been the correct decision, but it sure was cool.
Now what?
That is a good question.
Vader is kind of in my
This.
way.
He is slightly, in fact, in your way. That is a true statement. Let's do this. Neat. And this. No. This. There we go. Now we're good. Did Vader spin to force? I don't remember. Let's see. Chris rolls to defend. Blank evade. No. Okay. 2 force. Okay. You all good? Alright. So count. Oh, nope. This guy is going to 3 straight. Clear stress. And focus. So the countdown can straight aileron and do as much of a 1 turn as fits. So this is our first like real confusing bump. So I'm going to press C, and the Vassal Gods have decreed that that's how I land. There you go.
And it has to be right. They can't do it wrong.
It's true. I believe that's legitimately true. I've never seen a like weird Vassal bump that didn't actually look correct. So all right, Kylo, what you got?
So I clicked on my dial and canceled a Talon roll.
Nice.
So we did 4 straight there.
Oh, greetings.
I mean, I could stay here.
Do it. Do it. What could go wrong?
I think we'll do this.
Sad.
That seems fine.
Go. Vader. We'll just go target lock again.
Yep.
Cool. I think countdown's probably the only shot. Yes. Range 3. The dream. Hit crit. And it's not obstructed. Yeah.
Oh.
What? Oh my god. Should have brought heroic.
All right. So, let's do a shield and a hull, and what do we get?
Oh, that makes life a lot easier.
Well,
I'm
Oh.
in. Cool. Neat. Etc.
interesting.
Earned and deserved, I believe that's known as. Okay. So we'll probably just do. Well, I guess you're panicked, so this is going to end real quickly one way or the other. At this point, whatever. Cool. I don't really know how ailerons work on Vassal, so you know what? It's going to be great. I'm good whenever you are. Alright, so here, I'll just do a 3 turn. Can I get another strain? He gets it! Nice.
4 for 4.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, countdown's gonna aileron there, and 2 bank, and there's a strain hiding underneath my dude there. Alright, 5 for 5. Okay. All you. Come back
Bye.
here, you coward.
No thanks.
All right. Vader is going to attempt to punish you for your cowardice. Oh, that wasn't even close. Wasn't even concerned. And he'll just focus. Whatever. And he's got range 2. Crit. Focus. There you
Yep, I have 2 force.
go. Sure do.
I did have 2 force. Okay.
All right. Cool. So then we have dial zone for turn 10. And there's a strain on both of my ships that aren't Vader. I just can't really, what's it called? I don't want to move everything to make it visible. These aren't actually good. Sorry, I gotta figure out what's going on here. There's countdown. There's my Tempest. And Vader will... Let's do this. There we go. All good. Ready?
All set.
Cool. Tempest. So he's here. Still strained. He's gonna focus. Countdown is going to straight aileron and then to turn. So still strained. This is just an extra strain from one I had lying around. There we go. All good. Canceling Talon rolls.
Yes, you do. Let's see.
Let me drag these over to you. There we go.
Let's do. What do we want to do? Well, let's first do this. Take a lock on somebody. I guess. Mr. Vader.
Oh, Vader does not start the turn with a focus, sadly. Only 3 calculate tokens.
Do I want to be here or do I want to boost? That's a good question. I'll boost. Maybe. Nope, I won't.
Sad. Does the other one fit?
Okay, where's undo? I forget where.
It's at the top left corner of the window with that has chat in it.
Undo.
You might have to hit it a couple times because of your Talon roll.
You're canceling your canceled Talon rolls.
There you
There
go.
we go.
I was trying to tell if your left one fit. I don't know. I don't even know if you'd want to. Seems like a bad look being stress facing the board edge, but I was curious.
No, it doesn't.
Nope. Sad.
Alright.
Oh.
I'm stressed.
Yep. Vader. Yep. We're here. Let's... Is this going to be obstructed? Probably not. Just in case. I'm going to try the barrel roll. I'll focus and then spend a force to try to barrel roll. Just in case, it doesn't land. Barrel roll left. Nope, none of them fit. So you can see, let me zoom in here actually. So this is what it looks like when the barrel rolls don't fit. So if I click here, it'll say, it'll show you that it doesn't fit. My Vader position currently overlaps a ship or obstacle, so I can't do that. Very sad. So let me go back to where I was zoomed out to. So he took a focus and then attempted to barrel roll. So where the force went. And cool. So Vader. So it's hard to tell, but Control Shift F will tell us if that's obstructed or not. Let me mute my Hangouts. Sorry. There we go. Cool. Okay. So then Vader's going to take range 2 at Kylo. Make this a crit. Reroll this. And Spend a focus.
Ooh,
That was
okay.
I was ready. Wasn't ready for that though.
All right, let's see. What do we got? First one.
Oh,
Fuel leak.
F. The end.
And, double fuel leak, huh? Neat.
Nice.
All right. There it is. Dead Kylo.
Okay. Well, I think we hit everything that I wanted to show.
Yeah, I think we got
I'm
pretty much
trying to
all.
think of. Let me pull out a fat turret really quickly. So
Yeah. Nothing we didn't do.
this is not really the correct way to. Well, I'm just gonna spawn a new list with a Falcon in it, so we can see like a double arc ship. So here's this. Cool. So it spawned overlapping everything else. It's kind of a disaster, but that's not the point. Cool. So, here, if we hit Alt F, right? So it actually does the double arcs at once. That hotkey to rotate the arc was Alt M. So you can see like this actually works a lot nicer than you'd expect. And let's say I meant to spawn a decimator. If I'd been thinking, I would have done that. But if you want to check, your midline, like, hey, do I get my reinforced token or not? There is this fancy full arc, not auxiliary arc, full back arc will work. That's fine, right? So this way you can check your midline and see if somebody intersects it. Bullseye arcs. There is an automatic bullseye arc checker. So let's say we're playing extended and my Tempest here had Predator on it. It doesn't have a talent slot, but whatever. Bear with me, right? So, yeah. There you go. You got it. So Control X makes this display, and Control Shift X shows you everything in your bullseye arc. And it should be drawing a line as well. Again, my streaming setup is causing some of these things to not be rendered properly.
So there's the line for Kylo.
So you did exactly 270 Talon rolls, which is very fitting for Talon rolls.
It would have been 274, but you undid 4 of them.
Right. Somehow I knew.
Yep. I'm trying to think of other mechanics that are difficult to do. I'll show you the dark side can be a pain. Honestly, I just wouldn't. I'm the only person I know that it's ever actually used the card ever. So if you do have to use it, like just say I'm pulling a blinded pilot and, just assume there's one in the deck, even though that's not necessarily always going to be true. Because otherwise you have to open up like a shared player area, start searching damage decks and like passing cards back. It's just a nightmare. Just don't. It's not worth it.
Like if it never goes off and you get to the second one, it's like, oh well, that thing's not actually there.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's fine. Yeah. Like I don't think anyone's going to use it, and even if you do, the odds that both blinded pilots are gone is so outrageously slim that it's just not worth worrying about.
The other thing that we didn't do is like launching bombs. So like Trash Sim or probably Buzz Droids is really the.
Yeah, so let's just pretend this guy's a vulture. So there's this place frontal bomb spawner. Cool. So now this is a 1 straight in here. That's the wrong template to launch bombs with, or launch these things with. So go ahead and select drop template, and we can make that a 3 forward. We can make that a 3 bank. So like there are 3 bank left. Let's say Vader were here. So I'll do that all over again so you can see exactly how this works, right? So we place the front bomb spawner. You go, that 3 bank looks good. Right click this. 3 bank right. That's not what I was looking for. Did I do 3 bank right and I wanted 3 bank left? Yeah, so these are inverted because the spawner is actually backwards. So if you want the 3 bank right, you have to pick the 3 bank left. It's kind of silly, but yeah. And then you can drop bomb token, and we're looking for buzz droids. And you can see in the chat, we got this nice message. Overlap detected with buzz droid swarm and ship. This looks like garbage text, but yeah, just lets you know that Darth Vader is in fact on a buzz droid.
It flashed a little bit. It was hard to see because it's mostly under him, but
yeah. The thing here is there isn't a way to snap buzz droids that I know of. I would just manually rotate it, get it to be like about right, and then just it's fine.
Yeah, so you can do like the real fine, like the 1 degree, do like a 15 degree and then hit 1 a few times and get it close.
Yep. It's like you can spend a minute or two and get things mostly correct in Vassal, or you can spend, an hour or two and get it absolutely perfect. But, the goal isn't, I don't think, for everyone to be Vassal super mega experts. It's just like, hey, we can't play in person for a while, so let's take the substitutes we can. So it's probably not worth the effort of mastering everything perfectly. Just, good enough is fine. And if you ever have any questions or anything, feel free to bug me or Josh or whatever.
Yeah.
And people actually usually just hop in. So, like, let's look at our observers right now. So, currently watching, a lot of these are us, but a lot of them also aren't. So, people will just hop in and, like, watch games. So, if you're ever lost and there are people you don't know in your game, you can just say, hey, does anyone know how to do this? And you'll usually get an answer that says, like, yeah, just do this, then this, and this. Otherwise, up here at the top, there are how-tos and shortcuts. There's a button I clicked up here. So there's like I don't know that this actually helps. There's a list of all the hotkeys for moving and everything. Like I couldn't tell you what the hotkeys for like a Segner's loop and a talent roll are, right? Whatever. But there's lists of hotkeys for everything. How collisions work. This was more relevant when there wasn't auto bumping. This is all of the auto range, what's it called, measurements. So that was the Control Shift F, Control Shift L, etc. we were talking about. How to use a dial, how to spawn tokens. Again, this isn't relevant anymore now that there's the Control left click interface is new, so like a lot of this stuff isn't important anymore. And there is a guide on how to drop bombs in here if you ever get lost, which would be very understandable. Because like Iman uses weird templates and all that good stuff. And if you get super lost and can't figure out how to do something, don't forget you can always come up and click pieces and then go to movement/range. And it's like, look, I just need to put a 3-bank template down and just get it, kind of about right. So we can press like the left and right arrow keys. It's not perfect, but whatever, it's close enough. And like Kylo does, like, here, better example.
He does a 3-bank Star Viper roll.
Yeah, no, but like, let's say you forget how bombs work. You can just grab this 3-bank template and we'll just put it on here. And it's like, okay, does it hit him? Yeah, cool. Here, have some buzz droids. And, maybe you grab the buzz droids from in here. I don't know, the buzz droids are in here, but like, it's fine, basically. It's what I'm getting at is like, it's okay to not know how everything works. Don't let it mess you up too much. Not a big deal. Were there any questions or anything that we didn't hit?
I mean, seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah. I think we try to hit like every single mechanic in the game. So again, it's not nearly as bad as it looks. Honestly, the main annoyances are, oh god, I forgot the hotkey for this, and oh, my Vassal froze for 5 seconds. Give me a minute.